And we're going. Hello. Welcome to the Sorcerer Society podcast.
Yes, very excited.
Episode 0 question mark
Episode 0.5, perhaps.
0.5.
Maybe we'll cut this down into the intro and then we'll release the full thing as a episode 0.5.
Could be possible. It could be possible. If we wanted to make it a true episode 0, we could go and do a little thing with the rest of the guys too.
Yeah.
Intro them. You know what I mean? But yeah, for now, I guess if this is the first time that you're listening to this, I'm Nico. I am the game master of the Sorcerer Society podcast. I'm running the game, and I'm here with my best buddy, Alex.
That's me. Hello. I'm Alex. I'm going to be one of the players in our campaign group. We're playing with some of our friends and my brother as well, so should be pretty good. I'm also going to be running our sound in-game, so our background music and whatnot, using Sirenscape.
Yes, Sirenscape. Very good. Very cool software. Yes, I guess we could talk a little bit about...
So why are we doing it?
Why are we doing this?
What's our reason for starting, I guess? I think part of it is, at least for the two of us here, we definitely are very, in general, fantasy-oriented as far as, like, theming for, I don't know, like, games and things that we enjoy, or stories and whatnot.
Definitely, yeah.
And we've been playing RPGs for a long time, since high school now.
I mean, RPGs, like... Who knows how long we've been playing like RPGs, I guess, at least in video game form, but
yeah, that's true too. But
tabletop
RPGs.
I guess it's been
10.
8 years?
8 only?
I remember
How old were we?
I was a senior in high school.
Oh, I played
the first
before.
time. But it wasn't that long, was it? Like a year before?
Yeah, just like a year before. So
okay.
It was like probably 9 years for me. We started with Dungeons and Dragons, though. Actually,
yeah,
we're not.
5e.
We're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition these days, but we played the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons for a very long time. That was our main one that we stuck to.
Yeah, and I remember we started like not even boards or anything,
Just
like,
complete theater of the mind.
Yeah,
going
full,
only off of dice rolls.
Literally, like, what do? I summon 100 orcish babes.
Yeah, and they rain down from the sky.
And they rain down. And then you roll nat 20,
and it happens. Yeah, I think first character that definitely got me into the game was just the first character I ever made. That was Pippin Greenbottle. He was a halfling ranger.
Pippin Greenbottle, yeah, that's right.
The animal companion.
I don't know if I remember the first character I ever made. I remember being real excited about that character I had, Jonger Bongus.
Okay, I remember this guy.
The Furbolg druid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jonger Bongus.
Jonger Bongus. He was cool. I remember I really liked him. But yeah, we played 5e for probably, like 3 or 4 years? More, you think?
We didn't fully switch to Pathfinder until a couple years ago, no?
No, but we'd played before. I'd ran a few games. Remember, I did some homebrew ones, and then I did like the first full book of the Strange Aeons.
Yes.
Adventure Path.
Yeah. That's true.
Do you remember what you liked about D&D initially?
I think initially, especially because I'm the main dungeon master for our main campaign, main game master. I think just D&D was a lot more free-flowing as far as like how we could bend the rules to like let the characters do crazy things. So it was a lot easier to like have you guys come up with some absolutely insane thing.
Yeah.
Or weird, gross things like our friend Morrow did one time where he...
Oh, with those ashes.
He did something...
He defiled some ashes.
Yeah, he defiled some ashes in a very creative way.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I'm sure we've all done some crazy stuff,
Yeah.
We kill... Even, like, in the game, questionable evil moments for our characters where we let those orc villagers die.
Yeah, you can't have orcs around. It's a little dangerous.
Well, we didn't know they were gonna die when I cut the rope bridge to the
Yeah,
thing.
just things happen. You can't
Yeah.
turn back.
And then, what do you feel like made you want to start a podcast? Like, what made you want to record it? Because I don't think I ever asked you.
I think for me, first of all, is I just enjoy playing the game so much. So
Yeah.
like we before starting this have gotten ourselves to the point where we're playing like once a week for at least 2 hours,
Yeah.
like every single week.
It only took like 5 years.
Yeah, it only took 5 years of us trying to do this to get it right, but we finally are doing it, and it's great. I'm having a really good time, and it's like
It is
nice that it's so
nice.
consistent. We can always like look forward to it the next week. It's definitely.
I
always have a
usually
really, really
remember
good time.
pretty well what we did in the past.
Yeah, it's easy to keep everything kind of at the front, at least in your mind. You don't lose it if you don't play for like 2 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
But also, yeah, I enjoy very much fantasy things, as you know.
Yeah,
I'm a Lord of the Rings freak. For those of you who don't know me,
Yeah, we both are. It's been a
it's actually on muted in the background.
Yeah,
right now,
right
as we're
now.
starting our podcast.
extended edition scene. It's not even for the normies.
Yeah, so we're really that should tell you something about us.
Yeah, been cornerstone of our friendship for a long time, I
Very long,
guess.
since middle school now.
Yeah, at least that was when
Yeah.
we found out. I know
Mhm.
we both liked it
We
before
both liked
that,
it before. I think
but
I read the book. Started to read the
I
books
read the
in like
books.
5th grade or
The same
something.
thing. Yeah, I read them in elementary school, and
Yeah.
nobody had ever heard of them. Like, or
Yeah.
not heard of them, but they'd like.
They wouldn't be reading them.
Yeah, nobody would be reading them or something.
Yeah, so I think definitely since then,
And
pretty much many of the things I'm interested in have stemmed from that. So
Yeah, fantasy. I feel like I'm always looking for that fantasy like feeling, like when you
Yeah.
read Lord of the Rings for the first time, and you're
Mhm.
like, man, this is crazy. It's so
just
good.
like
Like
it's written so well, and there's
you
all
could
the-
like picture it in your mind so
Yeah.
well, and yeah,
So that's and then I don't know. I think it'd just be very cool, no matter what happens with it, to kind of be able to go back and look at and listen to these if they like come out really well, even if no one else likes them.
that's
know,
true. Yeah,
To
it
be
would
able
be
to come
nice
back
to
and
listen.
look at them, it'd be very cool to see what
Yeah,
we were able
because
to do.
how many games have we played like in our lives? Like we've never
got to have played so many
hundreds.
hours.
Yeah. And I don't think we've ever once recorded them
No.
before these ones.
Yeah, we've never even really thought about it. So, and then the last thing is that we've gotten so much better at the game lately.
That's
Everyone's
true.
been so much more into it. I think, especially, and that goes back to playing every week.
Playing every
same
week,
time, playing
yeah.
every week.
I think it's weird. I don't think it's a big deal now when we play in person, but I feel like playing online also helped like us get into the characters more. That
Yeah.
part of it.
It definitely did. And then now that we're playing in person, now we have the voices.
I know. I don't feel weird.
Yeah, now we
like
don't
I
feel
don't
weird.
feel silly doing it or
'Cause,
something.
yeah, that was something our group struggled with for a very long time, which I
Most
think really
definitely,
blocked
yeah.
us from really getting into the game, was that we weren't willing to really role play as much as we might have wanted to afterwards. But
Yeah, because even if I had a cool character idea and I wanted to have like a 3-dimensional character, it's like if you can't,
if you don't do
can't,
the voice,
yeah, if you
know,
can't, or if you just can't even act like that character, like
Yeah.
it's hard.
do something exactly. So, yeah,
Be cool.
I think all that combined, and then also, as far as just what I enjoy doing in my free time, this is definitely just up there. It's one of my most favorite things to
Yeah,
do in the whole world.
Me too.
So
It's pretty freaking fun.
that's basically it. How about for you? What made you want to kind of band together here and attempt this?
I feel like I was excited when you had the idea because I feel like for years I've like secretly wanted to like do a podcast or something.
It would be great.
I think just because though, I feel like you didn't start thinking about it until you started listening to the Glass Cannon podcast.
Yes, Glass Cannon podcast.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I guess shout out to them because that was also where I even heard of Pathfinder in the first place.
Yeah,
I
that
had
was, and that's when
A friend of mine that I played music with was like mentioning, "Oh, hey, like you play Dungeons and Dragons?" He's like, "I play this game called Pathfinder." and he's like, you should listen to this podcast called the Glass Cannon Podcast. And they'd like just started, like not even, or they've been going for I guess a couple of years, but they were under 100 episodes. Now it's like a mega thing
Yeah,
now,
they've
but
got their whole network and things.
yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
which is it is cool. It is very cool. But yeah, I started listening to that, and I feel like when I started listening to that, I was like, man, this would be so fun to do. Like,
yeah,
it'd be so cool to do something like this. I think so. That, and also probably just enjoying being creative, I guess. Like
that's a nice part of it too.
Yeah.
You get to, I don't know, do whatever you want. You know, you get to make it
yeah,
what it needs to be.
it's fun. Yeah, I like it. I feel like I'm pretty, like you were saying, good at the game too. I feel like we're good at it. I feel like in a lot of my other creative endeavors, it doesn't always feel like I'm actually that good at it. You know, like I have to like try really hard.
Yeah, it's just so much.
This,
a lot of effort.
I know, but this definitely feels like something I'm good at. You know.
Yeah.
At least I think playing this game.
Yeah, but you know, there's if you're not, you can definitely be. I mean, maybe you could like be mechanically right, but if you don't, you know, really get into it, like we were talking about, like with our characters and stuff, there's just like another level of enjoyment you can get out of the game.
The role playing, yeah, but then also feel like I'm good at building the characters too, like because it shows too when I play something like Baldur's Gate, where like I'm trying to do the character, you know, I'm high level, so I'm reclassing my character, and I'm like, I don't really know how to build the characters like this, but in Pathfinder now it's like, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna take these feats, and then I'm gonna do this,
because they all have nice like little those little like paragraphs kind of describe it, like the feats a little bit more,
exactly.
like what kind of people or like characters are for, almost.
Yeah, I feel like the feats help me create the idea for the character and like what the character's gonna be like, what they're gonna act like, you know, because it's like their chosen skills or whatever. Like, you know, what are they trying to be good at within their class, like, which I feel like helps me think about who the character is, because then it's like, okay, why would they want to be into this ability, or why would they want to do this type of thing? It's just interesting. So yeah, I feel like good at the game, and it just always seemed it's like such a cool thing to do. Have a podcast, play.
It'd be really fun.
Yeah, it seems like all five of us are excited to play too. So
there are 5 of us total. There's only 2 of us here for this, but we'll leave introductions of the other 3 to when you
another time. Yeah, Alex and I think are
episode.
The ones kind of, you know, heading.
We're the pioneers.
We're the pioneers.
We're making it out there first. Yeah,
we're the idea guys, the idea people. Yeah, I don't know. What else is there that we could talk about? Had talked about saying how we were also excited about doing like one of the huge campaigns, which you've never done before.
So we've never actually done a full. We've like done barely any official adventure path type stuff. We've always kind of like gotten started some of them and like made it a little ways in, and then kind of just.
I ran, I think, 2 like of the little modules for 1E.
Yes, I remember that.
There was like a circus one, if you remember that, and then there was.
I remember they were fun too. I was having a good time.
They were fun. Those are pretty well written.
That's actually where I got one of my first Pathfinder characters built. His name was Grok. The reason I'm remembering him is because actually sitting right behind Nico right now is
your mini?
Heroescape.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking love Heroescape. Heroescape model that I built, that I designed.
You painted this guy, right?
I did also paint him. So I have this nice heavy metal figurine of this lizard folk paladin that I played one of the first times we played Pathfinder 1st edition.
Yeah.
I forget which goddess he followed, but I painted a hedgehog on his shield because that was like her sacred animal.
I think it was it was a Pathfinder god, right?
It was a Pathfinder god. I
don't remember who it is. This is very cool. I have mine somewhere. Also, it's from one of our it's in the bag, right?
It's in a bag of minis that we
from one of our first campaigns. My character Titus.
Yes, that guy's very cool.
Okay, we're back. A little tech whoopsie there,
but we have our resident sound genius, Nicolas.
Kind of a sound genius, so I mix it up, I chop it up, record it, chop it up some more or something. What were we talking about?
We were talking about something related to Pathfinder. I got that Hero Escape tangent there for
The
a
Hero
second.
Forge
Oh yeah,
stuff.
sorry, Hero
Yeah.
Forge.
Were we saying Hero Escape the whole time?
No,
Okay.
we were saying Hero Forge. I don't know why I said Hero Escape. It just happened.
We were talking about how we never done like a big
adventure
actual
path.
full adventure path. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done big adventures. I mean, we've been playing our main campaign for the UDM
Yes, for very.
for.
It's technically the same campaign because we had like a little. What do you want to call it, like a time skip?
I
Where
guess,
you guys kind
yeah,
of like
we
changed parties.
yeah, we did. We changed parties. We switched over from. Well, that was when we switched over from 5e or no?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
when we decided to start playing Pathfinder Second Edition, we converted our entire campaign from D&D into Pathfinder 2e, and we're playing this very large homebrew campaign
That you've done a crazy job with, like just
yeah,
written so much stuff.
I have. It's like a almost 30-page document on Google. It's like a Google Doc that I have. That's just all information for our
Yeah.
campaign.
We've got our own world map, and we play. Or I mean, we play it in the D&D universe, but it's our or not D&D, the Pathfinder like
There's like all the Pathfinder gods
pantheon,
are
I
there.
guess. Yeah.
So all the gods are there. It's like the same races and monsters. It's just instead of Galarion, it's a map that I made up with like.
Does the
different-
continent? Does the whole world have a name?
I actually never decided on a name because for a long time I couldn't find one. I actually still haven't to this day.
A good one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm never happy with the name I pick out, so I haven't like named the planet that you guys are
Right.
existing on. So it'll come to me eventually.
That's interesting. But we've been playing that one for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to think, but we took a break for probably like a year or so.
Yeah, something in there. I
year.
think that sounds about right. We were definitely that was when we were not as efficient with our playing. We're definitely a little
Not efficient / I remember that was when we started playing Warhammer.
yeah,
And
that's also
then-
true. So to add on to our everything we've already said about ourselves, to really just sink this down
if
even
you
further,
haven't got yet that we're mega nerds.
We also play that tabletop game called Warhammer Age of Sigmar, where you have to buy pieces of plastic and then build them yourselves and then paint them in order. Well, I mean, you don't
But
have to paint them to play, but you have to build them to play.
They're cool pieces of plastic, though.
They're very
They're
cool, and I do buy them
And
every
the game
time.
is incredibly fun to
Yes,
play.
very fun game. Check it out if you don't know what we're talking about. If you're listening to us, you
if you
probably would
listen
like
to
this kind of thing, so you should look into it.
Play Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Don't play 40k because you're
Not as
going to be a
cool.
loser forever
Yeah,
if you do that. Only the cool people play Age of Sigmar.
pretty much. So definitely do that.
But yeah, so we had a big break from playing, and then we switched our thing back to Pathfinder, or revamped it for Pathfinder. But we haven't finished it yet. Are we close at all to finishing that main quest that we've done?
I think you guys are about to be at like a solid at the solid 50% mark.
Oh my god!
You guys are coming up on the 50%.
And you have an outline, like at least an outline for the overarching story.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. It feels like we've done so much, and it's wild that we're like halfway done.
Yeah. There's been a lot of extensive planning.
Yeah.
When I was just 2 years ago now getting my teaching credential, I had to spend a lot of time kind of just sitting around, like in the classroom and things like that too. And if I didn't have anything to do, like if I was caught up on all my work,
Yeah.
and like if my master teacher was teaching her AP classes,
Oh, right.
I would just sit there on my laptop for like an hour or two during the day and just type stuff for our campaign into the document. That's when I got like a very large chunk really sketched out for like the second half of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so cool. But I definitely have been on a similar grind when I've been subbing lately with my just the kids are doing whatever. I'm working on my Pathfinder stuff.
Yeah.
But what was my point that we were going? I guess I was just curious how much we played of that campaign. That's wild.
So
pretty crazy.
Very fun.
But I'm
It's
excited to
pretty good.
start this new one too. The
Yes,
recordings that
very
we've been doing
excited.
now are just a little homebrew one-off that I wrote.
Yes.
But I think the story's pretty good. And then, should we say which adventure path we're gonna do?
Yeah, we'll throw out the name, but we won't discuss it too much.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we're gonna be doing the Blood Lords adventure path.
Very excited to start this one.
I'm extremely
have
excited.
a character already built up, and have an idea of where I'd like him to go. And all that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. A little bit more in our official episode 0 or episode 1, whatever it ends up being. But very excited.
I've only read the first book, and I don't know if I'm gonna buy the whole set and like read everything before.
Yeah, I mean it's up to
But
you.
I don't know. But I know they give you like a basic story of it, so I know where the story's gonna go. They
Yeah.
do a nice little like outline in the beginning
Okay.
that outlines like all 6 books or whatever. But I don't know if I'm gonna.
So I think with that, at least, you probably could run the first book without reading anymore. But
I definitely could, yeah.
if you wanted to build it up a little bit more, you might.
It just
Man, it'd be
depends.
more-
I think the main reason, because I feel like there's part of me that wants to like, I want to know what they know. You know what I mean? Like, you want
Yeah.
the story to evolve like naturally. But then I think more it's like stuff that I would want to change or like, you know what I mean? Add to like maybe there's
Yeah.
certain story points that are gonna come out later that I would want to reference like at this point now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
what
I
if there's
see.
some stuff about the big bad guy that
Like some kind
you
of
know,
foreshadowing? Sometimes
exactly,
you could
like
do
story
that, like we
stuff.
wouldn't really recognize as foreshadowing, but
Yeah,
it could end up
like story stuff. So I don't know, but I'm extremely excited to play it.
Yes.
I'm very, very, very excited.
I'm really looking forward to this. Our party so far sounds like they're going to be a very cool cast of guys.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
everybody's settled quite on their characters yet,
No,
but what we've been talking about is pretty cool. I was trying to get you guys. I'm glad because I was definitely trying to get you guys to go for the undead vibe. Because if you don't know anything about the Blood Lords campaign, it takes place in the nation of Geb in the Pathfinder world, which is like an undead nation. Basically, most of the populace
full of those
is
nasty, dirty,
zombies,
undead,
ghouls.
disgusting.
Yeah. And I'm glad some of you are gonna go that way with the undead because I thought it would be very cool, very, very cool for the story. Some undead party members.
Yeah, this story will definitely be interesting.
Yeah. Although I guess in our main campaign we've had a semi-undead,
Yeah, we've had someone playing just a skeleton.
a skeleton,
just-
yeah. And it's cool because like we were saying how we played in 5e with a different group and then changed that group over, and his skeleton character, our friend Taven, is the same skeleton character from the last one.
Well, he wasn't a skeleton before.
Or he wasn't a skeleton, he was a human, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing a human when we were still on the D&D, and then we had I kind of talked with him about this because we were working out new characters, and we talked, like, before we announced it to the rest of you guys, that his character was going to end up dying in between the game switch.
Yeah.
And then for Pathfinder, he was going to continue playing the same character, but now as a skeleton. So it
It
was
was
like
so cool.
It was a nice little continuation, and I think also becoming a skeleton definitely really changed the
His
character enough
yeah.
that he's been pretty. He's still playing him.
Still playing him,
Still
yeah.
playing him,
Still
so-
playing Gay Caesar.
Yeah, yes, that is his name.
Gay Caesar. He's definitely, I think that's my favorite character name any of us have come up with, to be honest.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of them.
There have definitely
there's
been
a lot.
some crazy ones.
Trying to think of any.
Slip and Doodaddle. the
Slip and
classic.
Doodaddle was
I
one.
remember.
Can't remember.
Shump, obviously.
Shump is a classic.
Faendal, I remember that was. Although that might be from Skyrim, I think, actually. Isn't
I
that
feel like
that?
someone also ended up naming their character that.
Faendal?
Playing them.
I don't
That.
know.
I can't remember.
I remember that was Taven's first major character.
Yeah.
Were there any other good, particularly good ones?
I'm trying to think. It's Chase. Chase. Has
Chase does
soliloquy.
always soliloquy. Yeah, that was a good one. What was his
I'm trying to
his
remember,
character that got killed by the owl bear?
Oh my god, I forgot about that. It was a gnome.
It was a gnome named Body Knock Sparkle Gem, right?
Body Knock Sparkle Gem. He really was gonna try to talk to an owlbear.
Yeah, he was gonna tame that
And to
owlbear.
be fair, the party also then closed the door and locked it behind him after he entered the room with the bear. And so there was no escape, and he was mauled to death
murdered
subsequently
by the owlbear.
So very sad.
We've got a few different games that we've been playing lately.
Yeah.
So all have, I think, because we all just want to make characters. Making the characters is so fun.
Yeah, we all, and it's been nice too because we've all gotten a lot of practice, like playing different characters and,
of
like,
different levels too. Yeah, we've done
levels.
Somewhere like level 5, level 10.
Yeah, so we're getting like experience with like all sorts of different levels and rules and items and magics and things, and then it's also cool because everyone gets to practice their role playing a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, it's like over here in one shot, I'm playing a cowboy frog gunslinger.
Yeah.
And then I got to switch over. I'm playing an orc gladiator, and then dungeon master. I got to play,
everybody.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, same thing with me. I go from playing my human woman to my cat folk swashbuckler from a sorcerer. Yeah. But yeah, I think as a game master, I'm glad that I don't have to be a player because you guys are starting to level 1, which I feel like is frustrating for me sometimes.
I actually really enjoy.
You like it?
I really enjoy it because for me, I think this is another big part of why I'm excited. It's gonna be so much fun to get to like really, really. I'm gonna like get into this character so much, and so
that would be fun.
And so if he ends up, living a long time, it would be awesome to just have seen that full growth, and then along the way, like as I level up, I'm definitely gonna be I'm definitely one of those players who chooses stuff to build onto the character's story rather than mechanically make myself like maxed out.
I see what you mean.
I'm a very story driven character builder.
I think I am too. I always just go with wanting to do something cool and then see like how can I. And it's so good too because you can start like I feel like in this edition of Pathfinder you can just be like I want my character to do this thing, and you can find feats for it. There's just so many feats.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're excited then, because I was worried a little that like that's why I almost wanted to do the other Fists of the Ruby Phoenix one.
Yes.
Because that one starts at 10.
Yeah, that was crazy. I can't believe they started at level 10.
And I had a great time making our 10th level characters for the one shot we did. John Shore. He's so cool. And it's just so fun building them up that way.
But yeah, I think starting from level 1, especially in a huge adventure path, just offers such a unique experience of building that character up, along with the other party members who are doing the same thing. And it's like whichever characters survive are gonna have such like it's gonna be interesting to see how like their bonds or their connections work out.
Yeah, if you're trying to tell a story, it definitely is better to start at level 1 from the very very beginning.
Hoping that we can have a survivor of the party who goes a long way through the campaign, but might not happen.
That's true. I'm sure. Hopefully, I hope.
Hopefully, at least one of us.
I'd be a little disappointed if nobody died ever. Yeah. That would be crazy to have the same party from start to finish. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
But to have one character that made it the whole time would be sick.
That would be cool because then it's basically about them,
Yeah, their story. Even if it wasn't mine, it'd be so cool to just be in there,
That would be cool.
But if not, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Wherever the story takes us.
Well, I'm very excited though. I'm excited. I don't know if there's too much more to say about it.
No, I don't think so. I think we pretty much
said everything.
We want to say.
I guess we didn't say much about the one shot that we've been playing. We were mostly talking about Bloodlords. Yeah, if the one shot, this is just basically like a test, I guess. See what it sounds, see what the recording was like, if we were doing good with it, and
we're working on the intro. It's a work in progress.
I know. I feel like we did talk, I guess, longer than I thought we would.
Yeah, but we can.
That's probably fine.
Yeah, we can work it out.
If you've listened to this point, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully you
enjoy
the show, whatever you're listening to.
And what are you gonna call this one shot before we leave the audience to kind of listen in and hear us start it off?
That it's funny you asked that because honestly, it has a name. I just don't remember what it is, but I actually name most of them when I do them.
Well,
This
let's,
one,
give it to the listeners.
okay, but
before
I don't
we
remember
read
it, so
them.
if it sucks, I'm gonna make up a better one right now.
And before we hear the title, just to also inform you, our one shot actually takes place in our homebrew universe.
Yes.
So it's just different characters somewhere else in that world doing something completely different than what's related to their current main party.
If you hear us mentioning like Isle of Dawn or Pelduine or something like that, that's not.
Yeah, that's
That is
homebrew,
not
homebrew stuff.
situation. Yeah. So this one is called The Shadow Lurks. That's what it was called. That's what I had in my Google Doc.
Very nice. The Shadow Lurks. Well,
The Shadow Lurks. That's what you guys are playing.
Please enjoy The Shadow Lurks.
Yes.